we'll start now, I guess.
Hi Viplab.
Yeah, so let's start then. Because
Sure.
we get enough number of attendees now. Okay,
Yes, please.
okay, okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's workshop on AI-driven postcard analytics for a smarter decision making, where we take a call data from a recording to a game-changing insight with the power of AI. So I am Viplab here, digital marketing manager at MCUBE. I'll be the host today. So whether you are in the sales, customer service, or operations, one thing is we all should agree that call holds a gold mine of data. Okay, and the real challenge comes when extracting the value without spending hours and manually analyzing them. So that's where the AI steps in, and that's what we are going to explore it today. So, so let me before dive into this workshop or any other thing. So let's do a quick check. So how many of you really listen to the call recordings or read to the transcript? You can raise your hands. Do you guys really do that? Okay, nice. So we are getting the responses. Yeah, some more. Yeah, you are getting it. Okay, so how many of you wish that there was a faster and smarter way to do it? Uh, can you raise your hands? Okay, that's nice, and that is how well then you are in the right place, and we will be explore how we can and do it. Okay, so so today's agenda is like we are first we are telling our speaker will tell about the overview of the AI and about the post call analytics, and secondly we will again going through this AI. We will break down this AI technology into the speech recognition, sentiment analytics, and the predictive insights. Okay, so these are, and at the last we will have a questionnaire sessions. So please keep an eye out of these questionnaire sessions where we are going to address your all the questions. Okay, so before welcoming our speaker, let me also introduce about the MQ. Okay, MCube is a leading provider of cloud-based communication systems and customer engagement solutions designed for the business to the grow. So from cloud telephony to the smarter contact center solutions, MCube has been at forefront of innovations in voice, in automations, in voice and AI analytics. So before kicking off, let me welcome to our speaker Uttarayan Mukherjee, who is a product manager at MQ, who will take it through this to the workshop, and he will explain about the how this post analytics works actually. So welcome Uttarayan. So
Thank you so much, Viplab.
yeah,
So let's start rather than diving into the post-call analysis section. It is more important as of now today to understand of how AI plays a very important role in our life. If we take a, if anything in consideration, AI has completely revolutionized the world. You talk about automation, you talk about automating any complex task, you talk about enhancing the decision making, you talk about transforming industries, healthcare, finance, communication. You name the industry, AI would have done some kind of research and some kind of automation in that part. From personalized recommendation to real time language translation. We have seen it all to autonomous vehicles as well. The system is getting smarter each day and more efficient. And this is the best thing about AI is it a rapid evolution in reshaping of how we work, how we interact, how we drive, innovate, and is redefining the possibility across the globe. Now, this is something that we plan on implementing not just in real life cases on what we have as of seen today, but to even when we talk about the call center solutions. Now, this is again, I guess we would all agree that manual call analysis that we do today, the system is broken. Now, there is a organization that has 1,000 calls per day, and even if they have a quality analyst of 5 people, each people can do a max of 20 calls per day, which does only 100. So agents spend, the quality analysts spend hours listening to calls, recordings, which is again inefficient. Critical insights in this communications get lost. Now this could be regarding something that the quality analyst might fail to understand. Then again, human error comes into picture. That is something which has always been. And with hundreds of calls, thousands of calls happening rapidly, the scalability becomes a major issue. And even when we talk about scalability, tagging each scalable flag, tagging every missed opportunity is something that becomes a challenge in this case. So this is where we thought that yes, this is where the solution would be implemented, or this is a use case that we can actually solve for people. That is where we came up with our own product named as Syntheon, which completely handles the AI analytics of a call once it is complete. Now we could start it from taking transcription of the call, or you want to say of what is the outcome of the call and what should be the next step. Syntheon can do all for you. It depends on what are your business needs. We train the AI according to your requirement, and according to that is what Syntheon gives the data. It is not something that where we have trained the AI according to our understanding, and that is how the data is driven. The data is driven as per each business requirement. That is what we understand. Uh, Syntheon is Syntheon. So this is what we were trying to solve when we came up with the product Syntheon. And yes, we have tried to do it in the all possible aspects that we could. And it really challenges and really helps us understand of how efficient can a system be if we introduce artificial intelligence to it, if we train an engine to do our work for ourselves. And that is what we are trying to show. So I'll just take you through some of the key features. First is a call transcription within minutes. Now whenever a conversation happen, it could be a 3-minute conversation, could be a 30-minute conversation. If you have to go through a 30-minute conversation, you would go and actually sit, a quality person have to sit through the 30-minute conversation to understand if anything went wrong. Now imagine if it could be done within a matter of 2 minutes, and it could be tagged where the call went wrong, and all you had to invest is 2 more minutes in the call. So generally a call that took 30 minutes to be analyzed, heard, and then tagged now would take maximum up to 5 minutes for you to pass on the information to the agent that this is where it went wrong. That is how efficient it makes the process. That is how efficient AI helps us to do things. Next that comes into the picture is the sentiment trend. Now if the customer is happy, most likely to buy. If the customer is not very confident about the product, most likely not a sale. Now what if I told you that I can tell you which customer is the one you have to focus on? That will help a closer, a smaller sales cycle, higher revenue, better productivity of your agent. That is where the sentiment analysis comes in. For each conversation, the AI tags the call as a positive call or a negative call, or it was a normal conversation, depending upon what was being spoken on the call. This gives you an overall analysis, and it is also tagged of where the call went negative, where the call went positive. So you can even train the agent when and if required, so that it will increase the agent's personal performance in the coming up days. The next one of the most important feature that we can say about is the call summarization. Now again, let's go back to the 30-minute conversation, where even if I give you the transcription, you'll have to wait for 30 minutes to completely understand of what is being done. Now, if that is coming up within a three-liner, four-liner, maximum five-liner, you just have to invest 2 minutes to understand what happened in a 30-minute conversation. That is how small the quality analyst cycle we are trying to make, so that even if there is a point where the quality analyst or human intervention is required, it is the minimum time with the maximum output. The next thing that comes into picture is analyzing the silence duration of the call. Now, there could be situations where the agent might not know the exact question that has been asked by the customer. In that case, the call is being put on hold, or the call is being put on mute, where the agent has a conversation with maybe his team leader, manager, anybody else. Now, it is very important to understand that which agent knows how much. This is the silence duration, where it allows us to find of exactly what each agent is doing, how much time is he spending reconciling with his team leader or his team member so that he can answer. So this helps in identifying of which agent needs more training. This helps in identifying on which agent needs more time and which agent's productivity needs to be increased. Now, all this time, all these features that we have talked about, maybe transcription, maybe sentiments, maybe summarization, maybe silence duration, everything comes down to understand of how my agents are performing, how my agents are working, and what should be my next course of action of how many of what could be trained to the agent, what could be talked to the agent, or what could be understood to the agent. Now, next comes the agent performance metrics. That helps you to understand that if a agent call has been tagged as negative, then why is it negative? If one agent is having more dominant emotion of most of his call as neutral, that means these are very likely not to convert. So all these performance matrices helps you to understand, helps the management to take a decision against or for the agent, which will help them increase their productivity, help them increase their output, and in all help to grow your business, grow your revenue. Now, another few things that come into picture is keyword sorting. Now, keyword sorting is something which is a very interesting feature if you're a sales-based organization. Now, this helps to identify that if there's a product to be sold, on how many conversations was this product talked about. The more your agent are talking about a product, the more it is likely to be sold. The more your agent are pitching a product, the more likely it is to be sold. So in this case, we can train our AI/ML engine to understand or to try find keywords that we want to find, and then according to it, it will find and spot the keywords on each conversation that it's processing. And that is how it could give me a better insight as a business owner, so that I can understand of what is happening, I can understand how many times it's happening, I can understand where it's happening. Now, this is if we talk about a sales based organization. If I change the concept to a service based organization, I can find with the same keyword metrics of where and when if the calls are getting escalated. Now, escalation is something we all understand is something we have to avoid, or is we don't want to go ahead. But here we also have to identify that if a call has been escalated, what was a very specific reason to do that. The AI can actually understand, the AI can actually find out these reasons, so that the organization has a better output, the organization has a better understanding of exactly why the call was escalated. Now, again, all these could be done manually, all this could be done by a quality analyst, all this could be done by a very experienced agent, all this could be done by the manager of that agent. But again, there is one bandwidth that comes is the scalability of that person or the scalability of the whole process, where a human is required to give time, go ahead, listen to the call, and then give out a solution. The AI does it all within a time span of 5 minutes if we are talking about a 30-minute or more longer call. And irrespective of the language, I just saw a question come up in the chat of how many languages is exactly the AI does. We are currently catering of more than 15 languages, English, Hindi being primary. We are catering to all southern India languages, which I understand is the most difficult to cater to, but yes, we did crack it. Adding on to it, we also are doing all the northern languages, regional languages to be exact. May we talk about Gujarati, may we talk about Bengali, may we talk about Marathi, it doesn't matter. We have those languages which the AI can, yes, Tamil as well, which, and even Malayali, which the AI will understand, give a summarization. So, irrespective of whichever language the call is, your AI will be able to understand and give an output of that specific conversation. Now, yes, again, thank you so much for bringing this part up. Language also becomes a very important key factor when we talk about AI analytics or even the quality analytics in general. Now, if an organization has five separate languages, they need to have five separate quality analysts who understand those languages, or even any quality analyst who understand those five languages so that he can actually go through the recording. Now, this is where the whole thing omits, because the AI understand may it be English, Hindi, Tamil, Kannada, Malayali, Gujarati, Bengali, whatever language you come up with, AI understands it, AI transcribes it, AI gives you an output. So what needed five people now is done by one. What needed days or hours now is done by minutes. That is where AI helps in understanding, and that is where AI helps in giving an output of exactly what is to be done. Next, moving on to the next few features is the comprehensive call analytics. Now, it is very important for me to understand if two agents have performed X and Y. Why did agent X performed better than agent Y? That is where AI again comes into picture to give you an overview between two agents and why their calls were different. Where were they wrong? Where did the agent X go right? Where did the agent Y go wrong? What could have been the next conversation, or what should have been the next conversation? All these kind of analytics comes up when AI comes into picture. Because again, if you train an agent, there is a certain capacity that the agent would be trained. There's a certain capacity that the agent can remember about a product. But when we train an AI to do it, the AI tend to forget less. The AI tend to give more accurate data to be talked about. Now, this actually helps in identifying the gaps. This actually helps in identifying anything or any outcome that we want out of AI. Now, again, if we talk about quality analysis, if I, if me as a quality analyst, I can do 20 calls in one day, then I can do 600 calls, but I don't have a comparison of agent X doing what he did for the last 30 days. I might have went through agent X's call, I might have heard agent X's 10 calls each day, but still I won't be able to actually define of what agent X or agent A did throughout this 30 days. But that is where AI again changes. Now, AI just doesn't analyzes, AI stores that information every time so that it could be used in the future, so that we can understand, we can find out trends, we can find out where exactly went wrong. Moving ahead, it also gives you a complete sentiment, emotions, agent performances, so that there is less of guesswork, more of data defined, more of data oriented decisions that the organization makes. Now, this is what AI does. This is what we as a organization have been trying to do to understand of exactly how the pain point could be solved, and how we could come up with a solution that will solve all these problems that we are talking about, and actually provide the solutions that we were discussing now. And if we also talk about, okay, then let's do a thing. I'll just take you through the product itself from now, and I'll just share my screen. So this is our product, and what we call is Syntheon, which is again derived from VMC technologies, and this is where I get of exactly what happened. So the first, where I show of what are the number of calls that have processed, how many requests did I receive on a regular basis. This helps you identify of exactly how many calls your agents are doing. Adding on to it, I also get what is my average call duration, what is my total call duration, and this is where things get interesting. I actually get to understand of, now these are the keywords that we have marked as one of the most important factors in our conversations. So as you see that in the 401 calls that were processed, cloud telephony services was told in 48 conversations. Now, Bangalore is a place that was again tagged in 32 conversations. Voicemail services was tagged in 29 conversations. CRM was tagged in 26 conversations. And if the virtual number is available or not, that is something which was tagged in 22 conversations. Now, this actually helps me identify that most of my customers who are calling into my system are looking for cloud telephony services, voicemail, customer relationship services, and virtual number. So as a organization, I can make a decision that I should be investing in these four features more, because this is what my customer is looking for. Next, that interesting part that comes up is the sentiment trend. This is where I can understand of how many calls were positive or negative or neutral depending upon the conversation on a daily basis. Now this is what you're looking at, a overall, or let's say more of a pyramid graph, but yes, you can do it between last 30 days, last 90 days, you can see for the last 7 days. You also have an option where you can see it as per agent of your choice. Now, if I go ahead and select any agent from here, I would be able to get just their data. In that case, I actually know what that specific agent is doing. I actually understand of what was the conversation. So this is how I can even find out of what my agent is doing, how many times my agent is saying a word, how many times my agent is actually proposing a solution. Because if I pull out Anjali Singh's data, she proposed cloud telephony in 15 of her conversations, call tracking on 11, IVR setup on 10. So as you see, I can actually find out of what is happening as per my per agent. And as you see on 21st Feb, she had the most positive conversations. So most likely 21st Feb's customers are as of today converted, because they were positive in their first instant. Now this is what I get when I want a overall analysis, or when I want a more pyramid kind of analysis. But we understand that it is more important for you to understand of what happened in each conversation. That is where we come to the next section of the product, what we call the call reports. Now again, you see we have a graph where I can see of what was the frequency of each word that was being used, and I also have an overall emotion to find what is more positive or where it went negative. And moving on, we have also added multiple filters to make your life easier. Any call which is processed, so I just have the data of which call that I'm interested in. Now, as I see that Shubham Kumari had a conversation with this specific customer, which was a 4 minute conversation. So, ideally, if I want to spend my time on it, I'll at least have to spend 6 minutes to understand the conversation, make notes about it, then go ahead and pass the information to Shubham if she went wrong anywhere, then go ahead and pass it to her manager as well if that is required. But as the AI came into picture, nothing as of such. I just click on view details. Once the page loads, this is where I get to know what happened in the complete 4 minute conversation. I understand that there was some conversation about Bangladesh JID. Again, this is keyword mapping, what we call. And they talked about IVR services, social networks, and international calling feature. These are the four major things of my interest. So Shubham must have had some conversation with this customer where the customer was asking about IVR services, if we have the DID number that belonged to Bangladesh, and if international calling was possible. Now, if I go ahead through this call summarization, that would maximum take about a minute and a half. That is what I would find. And even if I listen to this whole 4 minute conversation, the result would be exactly same, nothing would change. And moving on, this is where I get my customer's emotion. Now you see at some point the customer was negative. That means there was something that we didn't have. And this is where it is tagged. The agent agreed to connect to the sales representative for a demo and further discussion. Now they mentioned that they need Bangladesh DID, and I understand that is where we missed, because that is, I guess, something which the operation team, or that is a separate concept altogether. But yes, you can actually find out of what happened in the conversation. You can actually find out of where if the conversation went wrong. Now this is again the per call analysis. You can find it for as many calls of your choice as is your possible. You can search it again with the specific agent's call. You can search it again with a specific customer's number. You can search it again with a specific date and time. So it's again a free hand. You want to see any specific data, you want to see any specific customer based data, we all have that feasibility available, not at all a problem. Moving on to the next phase is what we were talking about when we talked about understanding of the agent's performance metrics. Now, if we go to the agent performance metrics, this is where I'll understand of exactly why my agent call is tagged as negative or why my agent call is tagged as positive. Just allow me a minute, guys, while it loads. Let me tell you a few other things that comes into picture. Whenever we talk about, like, as we are talking a lot about call analysis, or as we are talking a lot about manual QA, at max, if it's a 5-10 minutes call, it will take at least 6 to 7 minutes for a QA analyst to go through the call. It would take me the same case, but in AI it would take about 2 to 3 seconds. And if in per day the quality analyst does about 80 to 100 calls, which again would have its own error rate of 10 to 20% at least, or let's say if we talk it about at max as well, in that case, if we switch to AI, the error rate goes below 1. The data is instant, faster, and smarter. Next, if next coming back to the agent performance analytics, if I go to a specific agent of Durga, I get to see of these are the calls that was tagged as negative. And now again, this is in a descending order. As you see, the call that was tagged most negative is on top. Now, another thing that is very important, if AI tags a call as negative, how do you get to know that this call has been tagged as negative or this call has been tagged as positive? So, the positive call can be given to any agent when they want to go through a training. A negative call can be listened or heard so a agent could be trained better. Now this is where I get an interesting feature where I can directly go to the call that was tagged as negative. Then again I'll get a detail of why the call was tagged as negative. Similarly, I have an option where I can go ahead and switch it between positive and then get of why the call was tagged as positive. This is what makes it most interesting to see of exactly why a call is tagged as positive and why a call is tagged as negative. Adding on to it is also where I get a notification. Every time a call has been tagged as a negative, or any call for Durga which would be tagged more than 15% as negative would come up in this list. And the same instant, the manager, the team leader, or the admin of the business will get a notification that, hi, team leader, one of Durga's call has been tagged as negative. Either you can go ahead and listen to the conversation, or you can go ahead and share a review to the agent. Now, this makes a manager life easy, because the AI is doing the tagging part for me. I just have to go and give a review. I don't have to go through 100 calls to understand why a call went negative. I can go through each call that is tagged as negative by AI and just focus on what needs to be improved. So the analysis is faster, conversions are faster, and similarly the output is faster. Moving on, I can also get of what is agent per conversation, per customer wise detail of as many agents or as many conversations the agent has. This is where I get a graphical representation of this customer who was tagged as the most positive, and the next was this customer again, but again, he's a separate number. So you would see those details mentioned in the positive call, as you see here. 50% are the top positive calls, and that is what is coming up here in the graph as well. Now, this is what comes up in the agent performance. And yes, there is again script adherence that comes into picture. There is again escalation metrics. So all in all, AI does is makes our job easier, our life easier, decision making faster, and makes our life more soothing all in all. Now, what is the real life implication or benefits? Now, these are all features which are good. These are all features which helps us to understand of why anything is happening. But the most important thing that comes into picture is, how do I implement it if I'm a business owner? What is the benefit that I get out of this AI? Now, the most prominent thing that we have seen in our customers is they have reduced somewhere about 40% of their operational cost. Now, this I'm talking about the budget if it is allocated in your case, because if there is a quality analyst whom I require to be deployed, if I have 3 languages, I need at least 2, or one who knows all the 3 languages again, which gives me a bigger cut out of my pocket. So I reduce those costs. Now, one person listening to 3 different language conversation, error rate is higher. That comes down to less than 10 or less than 5, even you may say less than 1. So the analytics is 10 times faster of whatever it was done earlier. The conversion rates, if each call has been tagged of why the call is positive, where the call went negative, the conversion rates become faster. So as of now, we cannot take AI or we cannot take Syntheon as a tool that helps you identify or helps you eradicate or helps you reduce your cost. This is a tool that can be taken as which gives you a competitive advantage. This gives you a competitive upper hand to take a business call, to make a business decision. That is where Syntheon comes into unlocking the growth, improving customer experience, improving your agent's performance. So this is about the whole product. And again, as I told, there is notifications. You can go ahead and check why a call was tagged negative or positive or any other thing that comes up.
Yeah, Uttaran. So we are getting few questions from the attendees. Okay.
Yes.
So I'd like to Do like to ask you as well. So, uh, the questions from the Muhammad Usman.
So I'll just stop my screen sharing now because to the
Yeah.
question.
Okay. So the first
Yes,
question
please go
is
ahead.
like from the Muhammad Usman. So he's telling, is it possible to customize the AI agent to analyze the calls based on what we want to review and give a report based on that, apart from whatever reports you are generating by default?
Yes, Usmanji, it is again possible. So whatever reports we are generating or whatever reports you are seeing as of now, that is based on our business requirements. But yes, once the AI is trained on your business, once the AI is trained on what keywords you're looking for, once the AI is trained on what is your business use case, the reports would be completely different. The reports would be completely according to your requirements. So
Okay. And
yes,
the
to
second
answering your
question, yeah,
question, that is feasible.
yeah. The second question is the analysis real time for each call?
The analysis takes a time of about 2 to 3 minutes, depending upon the call duration. Because again, once the call is complete, the AI would need to first transcript the call, then understand, then summarize, then identify the keywords that you have fed the AI to be identified. So, yes, it takes some time, but again, 2 to 3 minutes is the maximum duration, irrespective of the call duration.
Okay. And from Alfred D'Souza is asking, is this a independent platform or is it built into our cloud telephony? Is it like independent? And how the calls are uploaded to the systems?
So it is an independent platform, irrespective of the fact if you have any cloud telephony provider, you can directly feed the API directly into our Syntheon platform. It is directed once a call is complete, so there is no manual intervention required.
Okay. And so uh, we got from Kailas Nimse. So he's asking, if we want to incorporate this API, is it chargeable or including in the existing plan? I guess that our sales guys can
Team
respond
would,
to this. Yeah, you can reach out
yes.
to us, and you can write to us, and our sales representative will get in touch with you on that existing plans. Okay. Can it, James Balraj, he's asking, can this be integrated to the CRM?
Yes, this can again be integrated to the CRM. So whatever response we are getting. So again, yes, this is again a very important question. Thank you so much for that. So most of the sales agents, they work on a CRM. They don't want to change a platform because again, traveling between two different tabs is something which I understand is not a very convenient task. Like even for me now, I have my product opened in a separate tab, Zoom in a separate tab. So that is not even convenient for me. So I understand for an agent who is dialing out 100 200 calls, not a convenient option. Yes, we have the APIs again to push it to your CRM platform, irrespective of whichever
Oh,
CRM you have.
okay, that sounds good. And one more question from Nagabusam, that keyword limits such as language or any character limits. Language, I guess you have already told that it's accept 15 languages, right? So is there any like
Yes.
character limits
And
there?
no, no, there are no character limits. The product is completely scalable as well as AIML engine. So there is no character limits for keywords or no character limits of how to train the AI. So it's completely
Okay.
freehand.
Okay. So, and how easy to integrate AI post currency tools with existing CRM or call center platform?
Now the integration is a little complicated because again we'll have to train the AI to your business specific needs. But yes, the API integration is pretty decent. We have a team available for it who will do it for you. So that is something which we take care of, not at all a problem. We can do irrespective of the facts.
Okay. And how accurate is sentiment detections in post call analytics?
In post call analytics, what we have found out the sentiment detection is as close as 85 to 90% correct.
Okay. So Arun, could you share your WhatsApp number to discuss? Yes, we will sharing with you through the mail. So you can reach out to Trine or me to have any questions. So do you have any API documents to start with the work, or how is it? It's asking by
Yes, we
Callanalysis.
have the yes, we do have the API documentation ready and the product documentation ready as well. So we have a presentation prepared for you guys to understand exactly what it does. And we also have the API documentation where we can get things integrated seamlessly.
Okay. So let's. Any more questions? Let's wait. I guess that's all. Anyhow, if you have guys any questions, you can write to Uttarayan or me. We will share with you the recordings as well, so that you can go through it and write to us if you have any more questions. So thank you, Uttarayan, and thank you all for attending this. Let me. Thank you all,
Uh,
you guys.
okay,
Yeah,
I guess some of the people still have
yeah.
questions, if I'm correct.
Questions,
I
yes,
just saw
yes.
a few
I'm just,
come up.
yeah, just now I saw.
And one more question that I find very interesting, Alfred. So currently we are using so the question is which LLM is currently we are using, and can that LLM be trained to fine tuned according to the business context? Currently we are using a combination of multiple LLMs. We are
Mm-hmm.
just not fixed to one, because if we fix to one, then there is only one certain level of data which we can get correct. So we have used as of now ChatGPT, Llama, as well as Claude. These three are the major ones, but we have some other LLMs in the background as well working. And yes, depending upon your business needs, we can train the LLM so that it gives a more better context to your business details. I guess that answers your
No,
question,
no,
right?
yes, Dhananjay, yeah, we will surely share the more details about this post analytics. So thanks for sharing this email ID. We will share in this email ID more details on that. And one more question for Retail Guru: can it be used in the physical stores?
Yes, it can again be used in a physical
Oh,
store, but
that's
also
nice. Yeah.
once a call, see, anywhere there is a call, it can be used, irrespective of the domain. It could be a physical store, it could be a ed tech, it could be real estate, it could be a company who deals in cloud telephony services. We are just using it for ourselves as well. So yes, irrespective of the domain, it fits perfect wherever there is a call happening.
And how much it will like? What is the duration on the training the AI?
The training the AI takes about 2 weeks of time, depending upon how complex your business requirement is.
Okay, that's nice. I mean face to face. I don't think so. It will be working in the face to face conversions, right, Uttarayan?
No, in face-to-face
Yes.
conversation, that is something which would be a little difficult. But yes, we could explore
Yeah.
the option.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? Let's wait for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, then Uttarayan, let's wind up. So thank you
Sure,
for your time, and thank you guys for your time. And
pleasure.
yeah, thank you.
Sure, and thank you guys for joining in today.